Hassel, go and give your opening statements.
Yeah, I think most of the people here know about what I'm about to say. We went to the moon, and we can analyze the empirical evidence that was given to us to find out if that statement is true or not. When we do analyze that empirical evidence, mostly photos and videos, we find out it would have been ludicrous to fake it on Earth.
Okay. All right. And Lady Jessica, give your opening statement.
We live on a flat topographical plane that is stationary, and we live under God's firmament.
All right. And with that being said, each one of you all will have 30 minutes of talk time, but that's broken down into 5-minute increments, meaning that you all only get up to 5 minutes if you need that time to say whatever it is you want to say. I want to mention this. If you all ask each other a question during your time and you ask your opponent a question, you will forfeit your time, and then they have up to 5 minutes to answer that. So be mindful of your question that you do ask during your time, okay? You all good with that?
Sounds good to me. Lady Jessica can go first. Ladies first.
Oh, no, you're going first, big boy. Little Dick, you're going first. Right, so I want your globe. You're supposed to be here to prove your globes.
And I got 5 minutes, right? You said? Cool. So if
1 hour. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my position is that we can actually prove that it would have been ridiculous to fake photos like this on Earth. So we can do that by analyzing what we see on the screen. My claim is we don't even need to know any of the claims of NASA. NASA says, hey, we went to the moon. That's all we need to know. And then we can look at these photos and see if it would have been possible to fake on Earth. Analyzing things like the shadows, there's a relationship between the shape of the shadow, whether that shadow has a fuzzy edge or a sharp edge. There's a relationship. Oh, hold on, hit my phone there. There's a relationship between the object creating the shadow and the light. In order to create a shadow that has a sharp edge, the light source has to be small in relation to the subject. So if we start looking at the photos, we can see there's shadows everywhere, and all of those shadows are well defined. So we can say, hey, the light source is small in relation to this scene. But then we can go to photos where we're seeing much larger areas. So we ignore these mountains in the background. Let's just say, hey, this was maybe a backdrop. We still have from here to here that we have to deal with. And we have a multitude of photos and videos showing them driving from, this is the lunar lander on, let me look at my notes here. Yeah, it's at the bottom there. So this is the lunar lander on Apollo 15, and they drove the the rover away from it. And we can determine the sizes of these things. So we know these aren't miniature models because they tell us not only the type of camera that they used, but the lens that they used. So if they tell us the lens and the type of camera, and they say, hey, this thing was this big, and then we have videos of actual people hopping around doing whatever, okay, well, we can determine, yeah, those are real people. That thing is bigger than that real person. Does it match the size that they give us based on the lens that they're using? The answer is yes. So we can start to go down the road, and then we can get into the physics of what's happening in those videos would be impossible to do on Earth. Now, I can go into a long diatribe on that, but we have an hour. So my position is the lighting and the physics proves beyond a shadow of doubt for anyone that's logical thinking that we definitely went to the moon. And these photos, I have a bunch of them, but these photos were shot on the surface of the moon. And I'll yield my time there.
All right. Lady Jessica is on you. Came up.
Is it my turn to laugh? He went straight to Narnia. You cannot prove Narnia. He said, we're jumping around on the moon. Listen, bud, you got to start from the ground and go up. You just don't assume we were jumping and playing golf on the moon because you can't land on the moon, Hasselblad. You're assuming everything. We're on the moon. We're doing this. We're doing that. You've proven nothing. You haven't even got off the ground.
That's all the time you need.
Thanks.
All right, Hassel.
Excellent. So, is there a relationship, Lady Jessica, between lighting and shadows?
Prove your globe.
I don't think that's an answer to the question I asked.
Globe. I'm
Is
sick
there
of
a
all your
relationship?
bullshit. You're going around. PSI needs a container. Show me any PSI that doesn't need a physical container, which would be the second law of thermodynamics, which would be our object B.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your physical container for your PSI?
Oh, well, PSI is just created by any surface.
You for your container for your PSI. It's called the second law of thermodynamics demands object B. Where is your object B?
The container is gravity.
Oh, nothing? You haven't got anything. Where's your container?
Let me know when you're finished and I'll continue.
I asked you where the physical barrier was to hold the PSI. It's a law of thermodynamics, which demands object B. That's the third time I've told you.
So hold on 1 second. If you do ask him a question, then he has up to 5 minutes to answer that question, and you would just have to just hold back on your time for a second because
Certainly.
you gave it up to answer the question. All right, go ahead, Hassel.
So thermodynamics applies to the transfer of heat, heat moving, thermo. Doesn't necessarily apply to atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is caused by gravity pulling down on the atmosphere. Now, there's a number of ways we can test that. But PSI, every time you take a step, you create PSI pressure with your feet against the ground. Molecules of air are physical things. Just because they're gases doesn't mean they're not physical. And each molecule has a surface. So when one molecule of air touches another molecule of air, they cause pressure against themselves. And if we have a lot of them pushing against themselves, that's something we can measure. Even a physical container contains things by creating a force. If the force of the container isn't enough, for example, if you try to make a swimming pool out of newspaper and then fill that gigantic pool made out of newspaper with water, the water isn't going to stay in it because the water is going to press against that paper and it's all going to fall apart. The reason swimming pools are made out of heavier things, stronger things than newspaper is because the container has to exert a force onto whatever it's containing as that item is pushing up against the container. So the container itself isn't containing it. Everything is contained by forces.
Time is on you, Lady Jessica.
Container. Second law of thermodynamics, I've told you many times, needs object B, which must be a solid, which is called our dome or our firmament. Gas cannot contain gas, buddy.
Never said gas was containing gas. I said a force was containing the gas.
What is your force then if it is not gas? Because we have a container, a solid object. You have nothing.
Can you show me evidence for the solid object, please?
Asking you to prove your globe, sir, and you keep deflecting.
Actually, I don't believe I'm the one who deflected at
I'm
all.
asking you a question and you won't answer it.
Do you remember the rules, Lady Jessica? If you
Please
ask a
answer
question,
the
I get 5
question,
minutes.
sir. Please answer the question.
I get 5 minutes. And I also asked you a question. You said I was deflecting. Yes. So
I
forces.
asked you for a container and you said gas cannot contain gas. That's true, but that is not the answer. I'm looking for the solid object B. Go.
No, wait. Hold on 1 second. If he answered the question, then it's answered. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, that question has been answered. If you want
All
something
right, so
totally
it's gas
different, then
containing gas.
hold on 1 second
Okay.
though. Hold on. If you want a different answer, then you might want to give that question a different way to get the answer you want. This is a debate, okay? All right, go ahead, guys.
I did ask him for the solid container, which is object B, and he hasn't given me an answer.
Right, but see, that's for the judges. The judges will judge that, right? So you got to just keep going with your thing. If he gave the wrong answer, then he gave the wrong answer. To you, it probably would be the wrong answer.
Okay, well, I'm just looking for the barrier that
You want
holds
to keep
the
going.
PSI. Could you please explain, Hasselblad?
Sure. I'll explain it again. So what is holding our air in is a force called gravity. We can test that force in many different ways. We can actually use that force to our advantage in many different ways. For example, something as simple as the Cavendish experiment or the Schehallien experiment or the beam balance experiment, where we actually changed the acceleration of the object that was dropping by moving the masses in that experiment, or using gravitational gradient navigation in submarines so submarines can stay more stealthy by not sending out a sonar signal. And they're actually using a gravimeter within the submarine to map the ocean around them so they can navigate, or using a gravimeter to, say, mine stuff underground. There's many different ways we can prove that gravity exists. And then we can like shoot a rocket to the moon, go beyond the Kármán line, travel 238,000 miles away on average, and say, hey, well, if there is a physical barrier, it's definitely not within 238,000 miles.
Is it my turn?
It's on you. Go ahead.
How did you get through the Van Allen belt then if it's 4,000 degrees, buddy? You can't get through there. Like I said before, we've got a PSI that needs a solid container, and you keep saying to me gravity, yet you have never proven gravity. It's a lie, and you've been caught again using gravity, which is just a word, is gravitas, which means weight. So you, sir, are a liar.
Excellent. Can you tell me how submarines use gravitational gradient navigation
There
then?
is no
What are they doing?
gravity. You keep saying gravity, gravity, gravity. You have yet to prove gravity.
No, gravitational gradient proves.
No. You've got to prove it to me. Bring me some gravity, sir. Bring me some gravity.
I'm under
Please
no.
turn on your camera and show me the gravity.
Let me know when you're done.
I asked to see gravity. Show me.
Can you show me? If that's what you want to see, can you show?
You're deflecting again. You're deflecting, sir. Show me gravity. Don't ask me a question. I'm asking you to show me gravity.
Let me know when you're finished.
Show me gravity, sir.
No one can show you a force. You can only see the
So then
effects
it's
of a
not
force.
real then. If nobody
Okay,
can
so
show me, then it's not real. Thank you very much.
then in that way, PSI is also not real. Can you bring me some PSI, please?
Didn't have an answer, did you, Hasselblad?
No.
No, I know
was
you
that-
didn't. Good try. It was a good try, though. I know what pounds per square inch is PSI, and it needs containment. Any PSI needs containment.
Can you hand me PSI?
You bring me some gravity.
No one can hand you a force.
Right,
Forces
because it's not real. There is no gravity.
is
Gases need a container. I'm trying to teach you something, sir. Gases need a container. There is no gravity. We use density, buoyancy, and electrostatics. Gravity is a made-up word that lets your water stick to your spinning space ball. That's all it is.
How
and
do
you
you-
need that to fly through space. There's no space, buddy. We're in an enclosed system breathing pressure of 14.7. You're making things up.
Do you have any evidence for any of the claims
Keep
that you're
asking
making?
me questions. I asked you to bring me gravity.
That's all you've
and
done
all you
so far,
ever do
Jessica.
is stop asking me questions and bring your proof, sir.
I
Stop
did.
asking me questions.
Okay. Then you also stop asking me questions because I am the only one that has turned on my camera to actually go over evidence.
There's
You immediately
Fred.
ran
You've got
away.
a picture of Fred there, sir. Why do you want to be Fred too? It seems that everybody wants to be Fred.
Oh, the judging of this is going to be hilarious. So, see how I'm showing my screen again?
There's no
So
moon.
this is what
You're
proves.
invoking something that's not real, sir. There is no moon and there is no gravity, but you just keep showing the same lies. I'm just going to show you a picture of the moon, even though it doesn't exist.
Can
And
you
I'm
show
going to
me-
use
in that case,
pressure
can you show
with
me
no
a-
container. I'm just going to make shit up.
Perfect. In that case, can you show me a picture of your container? Go ahead.
Well, we must have a container because we breathe very heavy pressure of 14.7 at PSI, pounds per square inch. You need a container. I've told you this for the 5th time. It's the second law of thermodynamics demands a container for any PSI. We have a dome or a firmament. You have nothing. You have gas or nothing. And like I said before, gas cannot contain gas. Sir, where is your solid barrier for your PSI?
Okay, cool. You know what's really interesting about our atmosphere is
Listen, buddy, why don't you just answer the question? You go along and fluff. And what's interesting
I would be
and
happy
what we
to
can do,
if
and
you
I'm
would
so
stop
cordial,
talking.
but you
If
will
you would
not
stop
answer
talking
my
for
bloody
longer than 3
question.
seconds.
Why
Lady
can't you
Jessica,
answer the
hold
question?
for a second. Hold for a second. Please, hold. This isn't like the regular lives where everybody just kind of screaming at each other. Like this, not that. Allow him to speak, whether you like his answer or not. Allow him to speak, please.
Okay, no answer. Okay.
No, allow him to speak. While he's speaking, you get ready for when it's your go. But allow him to speak. He has up to 5 minutes. Go ahead, Hansel.
So what's really interesting about our atmosphere is it's not 14.7 psi all the time. That's an average. As a matter of fact, in one day, if you're standing in your own backyard and it's a bright sunny day and it's 14.7 psi, but then all of a sudden a thunderstorm comes through. What's really weird is a thunderstorm is called a low system for a reason. It's because the barometric pressure, the PSI, the inches of mercury, however you're going to measure the pressure of the atmosphere, whatever units you want to use, actually drops in a thunderstorm. But what's odd about that is surrounding the thunderstorm is higher pressure There's higher pressure all around it. But that low pressure isn't escaping to the high pressure. My question, Lady Jessica, is where's the barrier around a thunderstorm keeping that low pressure in?
It's on you, Lady Jessica.
It's all right, I had that me mute. I wasn't listening. I'm still looking for the solid barrier for object B, for our second law of thermodynamics, and you still won't answer me. You still refuse to answer. You go off on a little tangent, and we could think about Narnia, and would anybody like to follow me? And we could assume and presume all this crap. I don't go with Narnia. That's your specialty, Hasselblad. I stick with natural law, with physics, okay? You assume that we're rotating. You assume we went to the moon. You assume we have gravity, but you cannot prove none of it.
Actually, I can. Happy to talk about that, but every time I go to that, we just go back to this.
I
So I'm
know
going to
they
answer
talk
you.
about it.
I'm going to.
I've been talking to you for years. I'm sick of it. I want proof of a globe now. Prove your globe. Stop talking.
Cool. So
Well,
proof of
look,
a.
I've got a picture. You just go, we're on the moon and we're playing golf. Look at us on the moon. You are delusional. We live on a planet, we live on Earth, it's flat, and you're not getting through the firmament. Okay? And stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Because that's Fred. And why does everybody want to be Fred?
Cool. So having a firmament or not doesn't prove or
You
disprove
look
a
like,
globe.
oh, good Lord. Good Lord. I've just seen the, oh, the nasal hairs need trimming. Oh, the nasal hairs in the teeth. Get back, it's scary.
Maybe.
Come on, guys. Get back in
The
the battle,
nasal
please.
hairs.
Come on,
Somebody
guys.
get the nasal hairs
Come on,
away.
lady. Hold, lady. Get back in the battle, please.
Cool. So
Purified.
whether
Nasal hair.
so
Come on, guys.
talking about a firmament doesn't conclude the shape of the earth. If we want to talk about the shape of the earth, we can actually
Just bring
let,
me some proof. Not your
I'm
Narnias.
trying to get to it, but you will not shut up.
You've been doing nothing. You've got nothing. You've brought nothing. You just keep saying gas contains gas, and we went to the moon.
Lady
You're
Jessica, I am trying to keep my
You
patience
are.
and follow the
And
rules,
I
but the
don't
problem
care.
is you are
Listen, the
just
problem
filibustering
is
because
you've
you're afraid
even
if
got
you're
a
quiet,
picture.
I'll actually
You've
say
even
something.
got a picture of somebody else up that's Fred.
Lady
You all
Jessica.
run around and you all want to
Lady
be Fred
Jessica.
as well.
Lady Jessica. For the sake of the battle, can you please hold back your comments until it's your turn to speak? Nobody can understand him. If he's speaking, nobody can hear him because you're talking over him when it's his go. Just have some
I
respect
know.
for
I
time.
just want proof, not words.
Yeah, but wait till it's your go. Just wait till it's your go. Go ahead, Hassel.
So the proof of the globe that we don't need to turn to NASA for, that we don't need to look to the sky for, that we don't even need to leave our own towns for, is just measuring the shape of the earth. It's very easy to do as long as you put in the effort. Little old me, who sucks at math, has learned a lot over the last 5 years about how to measure the shape of the earth. We can do things like use reciprocal zenith angles, where we set up two things that we know are perfectly vertical. Two things that are perfectly vertical, perfectly plumb, 90 degrees to the surface that they're on, should be perfectly parallel. Use the example of your house. If you're in a room of your house and your house is a big gigantic rectangle, then opposing walls, if they're built perfectly straight, are parallel and 90 degrees to the ground. That if you measure in between those two angles and sum those two angles together, you get 180 degrees. However, when we go outside and do this in reality, we always get more than 180 degrees. And then we can measure to see if 8 inches per mile squared is a fair approximation of the curvature of the earth. And every time that is done with precise instruments, lo and behold, 8 inches per mile squared is what we're actually measuring. So whether there would be a dome above us or not doesn't tell us the shape of what we're standing on. The measurements do.
You finished?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Lady J, it's on you. Lady Jessica, it's on you.
With words, gas pressure, the biggest load of lies, grifting, and trying to be somebody that you're not. It's incredible, the delusions that come with all this. We jumped on the moon and now we're going to Mars. You are delusional.
I'm going to assume every time you mute your mic, you're finished. So it's
Turn me sound off so I don't have to hear your bullshit.
cool. So you're not actually participating in the battle and not actually hearing my answers. That's what I expected out of this.
Your bullshit for 5 years and it's the same lies.
So why do reciprocal zenith angles, when we measure them in reality, give us excess? They don't add up to 180 degrees. Why do they always add up to more than 180 degrees? And the further apart those two objects get, if we're using two targets and we start at, say, 1,500 feet, and then we go, say, to a quarter mile, and then a mile, and then 3 miles, why does the excess get to be more when we measure those reciprocal zenith angles?
Oh, is it my turn there, Hassel? How can you make a straight line curved, Blad?
How can you make a straight line curved? Are you under the
How
impression?
you can show curvy water. I'd like to see this water that curves
Oh,
at 8
well,
inches per mile squared. Yeah, about that.
yeah. You want me to show you photos? Because I think you're just going to call
Yeah,
them
that
fake.
one. Yeah, the 8 inches per mile squared over water. Where's that?
Let me see if I can find those photos. I didn't have
Let
those
me see
pulled up
if I can
because I
make something up.
was expecting
I'm gonna
a
make something up.
no. I'm actually going to look for the Lake Pontchartrain
Right, that's more flat earth proof.
causeway. How is that flat Earth proof?
Because you shouldn't see that far, buddy. Don't you know 8 inches per mile square?
How high were they when they took those
You don't
photos?
know, but it's supposed to be curving 8 inches per mile square.
Look at that. Google to the rescue.
Where?
Okay,
Where's
here we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
There we go. So, do you see?
Oh, sorry,
I
no,
wish
that's
I had.
That's already
Oops.
been tampered with. That is a compressed photo.
What?
That is a
Compressed how?
Photo.
Compressed how?
Baron Rutledge took that picture, or you when it's
No,
compressed.
Baron Rutledge did not take this
Off
picture.
You go. I'll just turn my sound off.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to participate. Cool. I'll just bloviate for everyone here then. So she's right. This photo does have compression in it, but not the way she's claiming. So
Told you it
this,
was compressed.
if you listen, you might actually learn something. So this photo,
it's been compressed.
Let me get
You
back.
just said it.
Yeah, but not in the way that you're claiming. So it's shot with
it's still a distorted photo.
Man, the deductions on your side are going to be amazing.
Admit it.
It isn't
Admit
distorted.
that it's been distorted, and you just said it yourself.
Lady J,
it's been compressed.
Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second. All right, but give him time to do his thing right quick. Give him time, please. Go ahead,
So
Hassan.
this wasn't shot by Baron Rutledge. This was shot by I'd have to scroll down. It's actually signed on there, but I can't remember the dude's name. Anyway, this is shot with a telescope. Telescopes and telephoto lenses do add compression, but that compression means it makes the foreground look like it's closer to the background. So if anybody has ever watched, like, the easiest way to see these types of photos would be, say, in a sports magazine. If you see photos taken of a NFL game and the guy, the player looks very prominent in the photo, but the background is just like a flat two-dimensional background that's blurred, that's caused by compression and the lack of depth of field when things are being compressed. What Lady Jessica is trying to say is it's compressed. What she's saying is you take the two sides and do that, pinch them together. That isn't what's done. But what's very interesting about this photo is all of these little boxes. Let me move in here. So all of these little boxes are the same height above the water, from this one all the way to back here. Now, this is something that we can look up in the engineering documents, the blueprints. We can look up what they said they built, not just what they proposed that they were going to build. And then we can actually go there, which has been done, and take the measurements. Like when the lake goes up or down, obviously, like this lake flows. It's not just a contained lake. When it goes up or down, they're all still the same height above, and those measurements have been taken. So the question is, if this one is the same height as like right here, why is it doing that? That's kind of weird.
All right, Lady J, it's on you.
Is that the complete lie? Is that it? He just admitted to compression. Thank you.
What type of compression did I admit to, Jessica?
Oh, listen, I don't care. It's manipulated. You just admitted that photo's been manipulated.
So lenses manipulate photos?
You can't use manipulated photos.
Do lenses manipulate photos?
I'm telling you, you're using lies. Lasers only work on a straight line.
No, that's incorrect. Lasers bend. But that's a complete deflection from what I'm asking.
Listen,
Do
every time I give
lenses
you an
manipulate
answer, you
photos?
go, oh no, but I did compress the photo. I'm sick of answering and fucking all this bullshit they go at. Oh, I'm so cordial and I can prove gravity. You can't prove gravity. There's no gravity. There's no curve. That's why we're here. And that's why we've got people like you from the government that fucking harasses every fucking day with your lies and your bullshit. We are sick to fucking death of it. Flat Earth is winning, the government's failing, and you're getting your pay packet from the fucking demiurge, buddy, because you're working for fucking Satan.
Hold 1 second. You got to watch your language with that. I don't know the rules here on TikTok like that, but I'm sure you're kind of going over, crossing the boundaries with that. Please hold that language back.
Okay,
Please
Satan,
hold that language back.
working for Satan, pushing a narrative that he knows is wrong, getting paid for it, and working off our backs with our knowledge. You have no proof of a globe. There is none because it is not a globe. You can make up as much pseudo, theoretical. You can go to Narnia every day to prove you're spinning space ball. But in reality, we are an enclosed system breathing a very high pressure system, which needs a barrier, which is our object B, called the second law of thermodynamics. Sir.
Excellent. So I have been showing you proof, saying nuh-uh to evidence, and then changing the topic is not proof that the evidence is incorrect. That's all you've been doing so far. For example, I asked you if using different camera lenses was manipulating the photo, and you said your answer to that was, and I quote, lasers only work in straight lines. I have no idea what that had to do with that topic. But I also mentioned that we can simply measure the Earth and reciprocal zenith angles. We can measure the horizon dip angle. We can prove that 8 inches per mile squared is very useful and a fair approximation of how much the Earth is curving. But you didn't have an answer for that at all.
But
So
why do
can
you
you,
just say words with no proof?
Lady Jessica, that is literally all you have done since you've been on this panel. You haven't turned on your camera one time. I have brought up actual proof when I
The
bring up.
man falling over on the moon. We went straight to, oh, look, he fell over on the moon. He missed his golf shot,
Okay.
and I had a compressed picture. It's all bullshit.
Does this look like the moon?
Don't believe a word you say. Listen, you've been doing this for a long time, and you still haven't learnt anything, and you still work for the government.
Awesome. Do you have evidence that I work for the government?
And, oh, we can't prove an NDA. Oh, you're all the same. Can you prove that? Can
Well,
you daddy
you are
daddy?
making a lot of claims.
I mean, why do you have a picture of Fred up here? All you people want to be Fred. I find it, there is something wrong with you. You're all trying to be somebody that you're not.
I think
I
you
don't
really
care
just
what
want to
you
debate me
do.
about Fred's
I
photo, and you
don't
have no
care
interest in
what
the
Hold on,
topic
look,
at hand.
look.
Why do you want to
Hold on,
be Fred?
wait, please, wait, damn it, wait. Y'all too grown for this. Y'all are too grown for this. Either we're gonna battle or we just gonna end it right now. Y'all were doing good. This was a good battle. Then the personal stuff started happening. Keep that mess out the battle. Y'all know too much of whatever y'all know on the side that y'all on. Debate that stuff. Y'all got all these people in here looking at you all, act like children. Just battle. Did we go to the moon or did we not go to the moon? Do we have gravity? Do we not have gravity? Let's go with it.
First thing he showed was a picture of we're bouncing on the moon. Look at us. We're on the moon, assuming straight away we're on the moon. Look at me play golf. What's wrong with you?
Do you remember anything I said about those photos?
Because
I
I don't
wasn't
listen to
assuming.
lies. I do not listen to lies. No.
Okay. So if you're not going to engage with anything I'm saying, you're just going to, and anything I say, you're just going to come up and say, you're a liar. You're just assuming you're a government agent. What is the point of having the conversation?
Turn me up. We in the lobby. Let's go.